Hello and welcome to your Cosmic Reset. Launching off into your new moon report in 3, 2, 1. Hello everybody and welcome to your new moon in Pisces. Astrology energy update where we touch on all the intuitive astrology for this brilliant and beautiful new moon that's ahead. And this also consists of a ritual. We're going to be doing a little bit of journal prompting and ending with a beautiful, relaxing, guided meditation to help us to trust and surrender to these divinely inspired energies we're amongst. So my name is Yelena. If we've never met before, then welcome to my channel. And if we have, then welcome back. I thank you guys so very much. Super grateful for everybody in this growing community. And I am an intuitive soul coach as well as an astrologer. I love helping people navigate spiritual awakenings and major life changes. And if you are new to this channel, make sure you tap subscribe for lots of spiritual and astrological content coming your way. But let's go ahead and get into this. So we have got a new moon in Pisces happening on Saturday, March 13th. I believe it's around 5:21 a.m. in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. That's when it's exact. It will be happening at exactly 23 degrees Pisces. And it's going to be happening right next to a conjunction with Neptune and Venus. So we're going to get into those energies a little bit later too. This is a super intuitive, empathetic, mystical energy. But as much as I like to talk about the positive significations of every astrological energy, I also like to be super real with everybody. So there's also a possibility for some delirium, addiction, and uncertainty with this energy as well. So we are going to be touching on both here. This is a very interesting new moon in general because it is the last new moon before the end of the astrological year. Cosmic New Year begins at the start of Aries season, which is March 20th. So we are finishing off a year of moon cycles. And this also, as much as the new moon signifies a new beginning, an initiation of some sort, it's like a rejuvenation, a rebirth of a new month's energy cycle, as well as a 6-month-long cycle. But with this being the ending as well of a new astrological year beginning, it's also about letting go, leaving something behind, putting an end to something that maybe has been significant, something that we've been working through over the course of the past year and has really probably come into the forefront this past month since we are ending cycles. And to top it all off, we are amongst the energy of a 5-year in numerology collectively, which is the year of change. It's the year of freedom, of breaking free. So whatever it is, it's trying to free up some energy so that newness can come in on all different levels. So like I said, this is kind of a birthing period of some sort. With the birth of everything, there's something that dies. If you think about the birth of a child and in that mother's life, it's almost her independence that's being let go, that's being left behind, right? So with every new beginning, something must be let go of. So this is a great time to start new projects, to start new relationships. When a new moon occurs, the sun and the moon will come together in the sky, okay? So because of this, the sun is so blinding that we don't actually see the illumination of the moon like we normally would. So we are still kind of in this dark moon phase. And what that says symbolically is that it's an excellent time to go inward. Isolation, solitude, introspection. That's why we always love journaling during a new moon. Personally, I like journaling during every moon phase, but specifically at the time of new moon, it's just a great time to really focus on yourself. Psychic energies are running high, even though it's a quiet time, it's a dark time. It's almost like the veil is thinning between realms, and we're able to kind of tap in intuitively and psychically more so than usual during this time. The energy lasts about 2.5 days before and after the lunation occurs. So I would like to invite you guys to watch that you're not inviting the wrong energy in right now. Usually in the balsamic phase, which are the 2 or 3 days prior to a new moon, it's all about letting go. It's about releasing something that's not necessarily in alignment with wherever we're at in our own personal cycles, so that we can step into this next month and we can invite in and manifest in a proper way. So if we don't follow the cycles of the moon phases, we might not really know when it's a proper time to do these things. And at the end of a cycle, when that is so very important, maybe we get wrapped up in some energies that aren't beneficial for us moving forward. And we aren't aware that we need to clear them, right? So we start the next month's cycle off on the wrong foot, and then we wonder why the next month got so out of whack. So if you're feeling like something is out of alignment, out of tune, I would highly suggest making those little shifts and changes right now. So there's a couple specific realms of this energy that I want to touch on today. First and foremost, this is an excellent time, you guys, to start studying topics that would be related to the arts in some way, maybe photography or spirituality, things that are a little bit more esoteric in the spiritual realm, like astrology. What better time? My astrology teacher actually has a really amazing course out right now, and enrollment period is still open. So we'll go ahead and give Astrology with Heather a little plug here. And things like numerology, studying, researching your dreams, whatever it might be. So this is a beautiful and brilliant energy for that right now. And it is going to be super supported specifically at this time. One thing I would definitely recommend right now is really spending some time on learning to develop your intuition specifically. We can do this through connecting more with our 5 senses. When we're able to really get in our body, explore through seeing, touching, hearing, tasting, smelling, it helps us to better connect with the senses that lie beyond this realm. It all starts in the material plane. It helps to really be embodied. And for me, yoga really helps with that. So helping to get in my body and feeling the different sensations that I'm experiencing as a compass, as a guide, is one of the first steps towards developing a strong connection and this cool, badass relationship with your intuition, right? And then putting these little intuitive nudges that you get on the daily, once you start making this connection, putting them to test. So if you get like maybe a divine nudge that maybe your friend's new boyfriend isn't good for them or something, you can write down all these little things that you're getting, or maybe who's gonna win the game tomorrow if you're into sports or whatever it might be. Writing these all down in a journal and going back and checking to see how connected you really were. Starting to write down the dreams that you're having. If I had $1 for every person that's told me how crazy their dreams are right now, I would keep track of these, you guys, because usually, and especially during Pisces season, with all this Neptunian energy, our dreams are usually trying to convey something to us, whether it be metaphorical, symbolic, or literal. And then also, you guys, focusing on your feelings, your emotions, rather than focusing so much on the rational, analytical side of the mind. So stepping into that right brain versus the left brain, taking risks, giving into little small impulses that could lead you in the right direction. Also, this energy is amazing for working on the law of attraction. This is a Jupiter-ruled sign, Pisces, and Jupiter is all about universal laws, law and order in general, but especially things that transcend this realm of the material world, so universal laws specifically. And working with the law of attraction is connecting to the law of vibration. With the law of attraction, it is all about your feelings and your emotions, because we're trying to reprogram the subconscious mind when we're trying to manifest things, right? And the subconscious doesn't know if something is actually occurring or not. So it doesn't know if what we're experiencing in every moment is real or not. It just believes what we're going through, the way that we feel, what we're currently experiencing. So if you want to create this new vision of a future for yourself, visualization can be extremely powerful and definitely supported by these Neptunian and Piscean psychic energies. So when you're envisioning, when you're using visualization, really feeling it in the body, feeling the emotions of what it would be like to be in that situation. Just to give you a little example, when I was younger, I wanted to be Miss Michigan Teen USA. Totally not who I am as a person anymore, but it's a really good example because I worked at this for a couple years and it was just a vision, a dream of mine. But I remember how I would pretend and I would put myself into the role of it before it ever even happened. I would practice and I would pretend like I already was it, right? I would play out this scenario of like the crowning ceremony and me pretending like I won and being so excited and actually like feeling what it would feel like to be in that position. And then it actually happened. I actually did go on to win that title. So you have to actually believe what you're trying to manifest. You have to step into the role in some way. And I'm doing it right now again with wanting to become a full-time YouTuber, right? So I know I'm not full-time right now, but at least I can step into the role as much as possible in my everyday life. Sit down at my computer, wake up at a specific time, follow a schedule, make sure I'm always creating content and taking it seriously. So stepping into the role, you do have to take action with the law of attraction as well, right? Taking small steps towards what you're trying to manifest, while also still being grateful and happy with where you are in the moment. You will never manifest what you're trying to create if you are unhappy where you are right now. You have to make sure that you are a vibrational match for what it is you're trying to create. So that reminds me so much of Piscean energy as well. But let's go ahead, we'll move out of that little corner of what I want to talk about and let's move into the next thing. This energy may prove to be a bit draining, triggering, and confusing. So let me elaborate a little bit here. Now, Pisces and Neptune are both feminine energies. It's yin energy. So it's very laid back, receptive, and because it's mutable, which is that adaptable energy that kind of sways back and forth, it kind of goes with the flow of the different changes that are always coming in and out of life. It can also tend to absorb and take things in. It can be really easy to pick up the emotions of other people right now. So it's this energy of not really knowing where your boundaries, where your barriers are, what's yours and what's another person's. We are much more susceptible right now to taking in the psychic energy of another without even realizing it, okay? So we've got these like big antennas coming out all over the place, and they seem to get more amplified during a dark moon phase, especially when the energy that we're amongst is very psychic in nature itself, which is Neptunian and Piscean, right? And this is also true of the fact that it's easier to adapt and absorb bad habits and negative qualities right now too. So if you do have the option to be alone in your own energy, finding more time for solitude, meditation, seclusion right now, that would probably be your best option. However, I know that that's not usually realistic for every single person. So if that's you, make sure that you're taking a little bit of time for yourself to be in solitude, even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes here or there, and do whatever grounding practices work for you. Starting to get nicer outside, so maybe going outside, walking barefoot on the grass, laying down, absorbing all the electromagnetic waves that are coming from the Earth's core, from the ethers. And if you're not really sure how to tell if you're grounded or not, you'll probably know because you won't feel very down to earth. You're going to be very mental, up in your head. You might feel anxious, scattered, having lots of racing thoughts going through your mind. Another little tip here is taking salt baths. Salt tends to do something for the neurological system of the body and to really help clear our energetic field. Another thing to watch out for here, guys, is self-sabotage, falling back into addictions, bad habits, bad patterns, being really susceptible to psychic and energetic vampires, narcissists, things that might appear one way on the surface, but later on, they might tend to be very draining of our energy and really lead us down the wrong path. Neptune is an energy that can be very, very deceiving. I'm sure you guys have heard the association with Neptune and wearing rose-colored glasses. So maybe seeing things the way that we want to see them and trying to just ignore what the truth is behind everything. So if you can be as real with yourself as possible right now, Also, this energy tends to make you a little bit more sleepy and lazy, feeling sluggish, drained. My astrology teacher, Heather, actually said it properly on her Instagram today that she felt stoned from this energy without being stoned at all, being completely sober. So it's almost as if you wake up and you still feel tired. And I feel like this is a very interesting time. Like I said, we're closing out an astrological new year. We're really healing on a deep energetic level. There's a lot of things that are taking place in our dreams and sleep time and dream time. And I like to call this night work. So we're doing work in interdimensional realms. So if you are waking up, you're feeling a little bit more tired in the morning, that's okay. Be accepting of it. Allow it right now. Just know that you are exactly where you need to be. I know this can be hard, especially if you are somebody like me who loves to be in that masculine energy, get things done, achieve, be on the work grind on the daily. But just allow yourself to kind of sit back, take it all in, allow yourself to rest, rejuvenate. I want to read you a little excerpt here about dreams from one of my favorite books called Spiritual Psychology, the 12 Primary Life Lessons. And it says, remember that we are spiritual beings having a physical experience, and thus only a very small portion of our true selves is housed within the bubble of biology we inhabit. When we sleep, our biology rejuvenates the energy field around it. The remainder of our energy, or higher self, which never rests, is always connected with the universal energy. Thus, dream time is a time for our higher self to set up energy fields for us to experience during wakefulness and to speak to our lower physical self unhampered by our conscious thought processes. So just a couple little tidbits on how powerful our dream time can really be. All right, this next thing I want to talk about here, I titled Magical Fantasy Romance and Idealization. So this is a pretty big realm here. And Venus represents things like beauty, romance, relationships, harmony, lust, and passion, while Neptune represents spirituality, magic, daydreams, fantasy, illusion, deception, and it also rules over things like fairy tales, overindulgence, and sexual abuse. So you can see how vast this realm is. Now, Neptune also represents things that are like a thick fog. So if you can imagine like the ocean in the deep of the night or early morning, where there's like this thick steam and fog that comes up, making it very hard to see. It can be really confusing, brings a lot of uncertainty, right? So that's kind of the energy that we're in right now. So there is this magical possibility for like a new love to enter your life, some type of new relationship, or maybe some amazing new friendship. But it can also be a time of really idealizing and romanticizing something that is not really as it seems. Or maybe we're wanting something to be magical, wanting something to be perfect. We've got this fairy tale idea in our head of this romantic situation and these romantic gestures. But the situation that's in front of us is not quite fitting the bill, but we're not seeing it clearly. So those are those rose-colored glasses that I so speak of. And then also a possibility would be to romanticize or idealize old relationships. This could be friendships, it could be feminine in nature because Venus is involved. So we could be idealizing or romanticizing something that's not quite in alignment anymore, that needs to be let go of, right? So we need to take a closer look at relationships that are already there as well. Maybe making some type of relationship adjustments and honoring our boundaries. Maybe we need to readjust our boundaries in some way. Pisces energy can tend to have a difficult time setting boundaries. The thing that you want to take into account here is what's going to be most supportive for you moving forward. Piscean energy can also be the energy of merging, right? So if you feel like your intuition is guiding you to merge with the soul of another in relationship, go for it. But I would be very discerning at this time and just know that we've got some uncertain, foggy energy in the air. So maybe giving yourself a little bit of time before you dive in too deep. Also, with any relationships, friendships, partners, family members that may be reappearing for you at this time, or the situation seems to be presenting itself again, just know that life is a spiral, okay? Everything is not linear. We keep going and circling around to different situations. They might repeat in our lives many different times, and every time we return to something, we gain a deeper understanding of it. So what is different this time around? What realizations are you having that you didn't have before? Are you able to make different decisions because of these new realizations? So really just bringing that to the forefront as well. I'd like to also ask you during this time to check your vibration, your own personal vibration. Where can you make specific adjustments to be more in alignment with what it is that you're trying to create moving forward? So going back to that law of attraction thing we were talking about a little bit earlier, what are some adjustments that you need to make? I would like to read you a quote. I don't even remember where I got this, but it says, pay attention to who shows up when you're vibrating at your truest, and then who repeatedly shows up when you're not. So when you're checking your vibration, if maybe you've fallen back into old tendencies, old habits, old ways of doing things, notice, are there certain people that came back when your vibration just shifted subtly? And that should help you identify what you need to do moving forward, or if somebody is right to be in your life right now or not. Don't ignore your intuition. And also not holding on to the fear of letting go because we're afraid that maybe nothing new will come in, there won't be anything to replace it, or for fear of not knowing what's next, right? Every time a door closes, another new door opens. And if you take a look back at your life over the course of however many years, you'll see that this holds so much validity. There's always that period of the unknown that can be unsettling. But when we can have a certain element of faith, we tend to flow more with the divine energies at play. We always can look forward to the fact that Venus is in what's called its exaltation here in Pisces. Neptune is in its home in Pisces. Venus being held up in very high esteem right now, there is a major possibility for blessings in love, friendship, money, and creativity to present themselves right now. A couple more tips for you guys. Just try not to escape in unhealthy ways, addictive behaviors and tendencies. If you need to cry or you feel like you need an emotional release, allow it to flow. Do yourself a favor. Stay away from intoxicants. Stay away from people that drain your energy. And let go of toxic friends and toxic relationships. Here is your new moon mantra for our ritual. I trust my own wisdom and intuition. I am the only person that knows what's best for me. And again, I trust my own wisdom and intuition. I am the only person that knows what's best for me. Before moving into our guided meditation, I have a couple journal prompts for you. I also plan to post these on my Instagram if you would like to get them directly. And if you aren't already a follower there, I post so much amazing content there as well. You can join at Yelena Crawford 1111. If you'd like to pause after each journal prompt and make this a more interactive ritual, you can go ahead and do so. Beginning with number 1. What are the top 3 things I would like to achieve this month? Number 2, what are things within my control that may be standing in the way of me reaching these goals? Number 3, what's the story I'm telling myself right now? And how might I be able to reframe this in a more positive way? All right, time to move on to the guided meditation portion of our new moon in Pisces ritual today. The themes for today's meditation include trust, self-love, and clarity. Come into an easy and comfortable seated position. If you need even more support, feel free to sit on top of a blanket. Sit up nice and tall, placing the palms of your hands on top of your legs. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed away from your ears while closing your eyes. Use your breath to help you relax even more. And begin by taking some deep inhales and exhales through the nose in a nice, even flow. To ease the cessations of thoughts in the mind, it can really help to count the length of each breath. For example, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each breath helping guide you into a state of ease and serenity. Continue to focus on your soft breath as I guide you through a meditation on trust. It's important in these seasons of profound change that you learn to trust in what's divine, to release control and allow yourself to flow with the incoming shifts being ushered in with this new moon energy. Whatever shows up to your mind, whatever might be there to worry or scare you, just let it all go. Even if it's just for right now. If you have some doubts or some uncertainty in your life, use this moment to let go. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, acknowledge your mistrust. Exhale through your mouth, pushing this feeling out of the body. And again, take a deep breath in through the nose. Notice the doubts shifting up to your mind and focus on them as you exhale through your mouth with a loud sound. And one more time, take a deep breath in through the nose. Feel your emotions and your uncertainty. Exhale through your mouth with a loud sound. Now take a moment and bring your hands to your heart center. This is called Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Listen to the sound of your natural breath coming back to normal like a gentle ocean wave in and out. Representative of the vastness of these deep and foggy Piscean and Neptunian waters that we're currently traversing. Just allowing yourself to sit amongst the energy of uncertainty with a sense of trust. Knowing a change of course with further guidance is just around the corner. Sitting a little bit taller, feeling a connection from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. Feel the connection you're building to your divine self. Let's reconnect. Now imagining a beam of white light shooting upwards and connecting with the version of yourself that is eternal, immortal, that exists beyond time, beyond space. Now, whatever made you lose your trust, the trust in yourself, in others, or even in life itself. Let's work on sending that up through this brilliant beam of light to your higher self who is ready to receive. It's time to reset what you think you know and start again from the very beginning of this brand new astrological year. Open yourself to receive codes of light, of intelligent knowledge being downloaded into your very essence, into your DNA. Imagining in your mind's eye this cycle of streaming light, giving and receiving, giving and receiving. Feel free from the world. Enjoy this moment as a complete moment of freedom and openness. A healthy escape. Your mind is lighter, freer from all the negative thoughts, and it's ready to be nourished from the divine intelligence that you've connected to. You are experiencing a new dose of real, profound, and grounded trust. Now imagine the brilliant beam of light streaming through each individual chakra, beginning at the crown, at the top of the head, this brilliant white light, streaming down through the third eye, in the middle of the forehead, gaining more concentration down into the throat, expanding into the heart, into the solar plexus at the top of the belly, flowing like a river to the sacral, and all the way to the base of the spine, to the root chakra. The beam then shoots down into the earth all the way through each and every layer until it reaches the earth's core, grounding this divine light intelligence. Now focus on this feeling, connecting you to your center and to your intuition. Trust your ability to find your center and reconnect every time you choose to do so. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a loud exhale through the mouth. Repeat out loud after me. I trust. Bringing trust to every part of your life, starting with yourself. Trusting your intuition, that it's the main key to trusting the universe. Put your trust in the bigger plan awaiting you, even when we don't have all the details of how things will manifest. Take another deep breath in through the nose, filling all the way up. Exhale through the mouth. Now for the most advanced portion of the meditation, lifting the two corners of your mouth and smile. Closing out this new moon in Pisces ritual, feel your power to trust. Feel your instinct, your brand new ability to refocus and move from fear into faith. Effortlessly tuning in with your intuition and your higher self. Now bring your hands to heart center, back to Anjali Mudra. Raise them up to your forehead, to the third eye, and bow. Namaste, my friends, and happy new moon in Pisces. Lots of blessings and good energy sent your way. I hope you enjoyed today's ritual. I am an intuitive soul coach and astrologer. So if you are someone who's navigating a spiritual awakening, trying to make sense of life or a big shift that you're going through, there is a link in the description box below to book a discovery session with me today to learn about my services, what I can offer you. And if you're interested in receiving a reading, you can also book that below as well. Thank you guys so much. If you benefited from this content, don't forget to tap that like button. Leave me a comment below if you're still with me with a heart and a moon emoji. And don't forget to tap subscribe. Join my growing community. I promise not to disappoint. Love you guys so very much. And peace. Signing off.